Hi there, this is Danny Flexen. Welcome to Seconds Out FLEXpectations. We're usually out every Thursday, 4:30 p.m. to look ahead to the weekend's action. While the concept remains the same, we're a bit late this week. It's been a very busy week. Seconds Out have been covering fight cards, 3 in total, 2 in the UK, 1 in the US, which obviously we'll be talking about all 3 shortly. So we're a bit late this week. Hope you can forgive us and still engage with us and give us your comments below. No better place to start than the World Heavyweight title fight. WBC champion Deontay Wilder puts his belt on the line in something of a grudge match against Dominic Breazeale. A lot of you will remember Breazeale from getting stopped by Anthony Joshua in a relatively one-sided fight, 2016. Don't judge him purely on that. He's won 3 since in decent company. He seems to have improved a bit as a fighter. I think he's now working with Virgil Hunter as well, who's obviously a renowned trainer, especially for his work with Andre Ward, among others. Breazeale's very athletic, he's strong, he packs a decent punch. And bear in mind, Wilder is a bit more reckless than Joshua. He doesn't control distance as well as Joshua does. He's got other qualities, of course, like his mind-numbing power, for example, but he is a flawed banger, and Breazeale could be the man to take advantage of it. He's around 5-1 with the bookies. I think that's probably fair. I'm not picking him to win. But I think he has a better chance than, for example, Andy Ruiz Jr. against Joshua. Obviously, he should address at least briefly Wilder's controversial comments in the build-up, talking about wanting a body on his record and killing an opponent. Thing is, he's done this before. This isn't new news. He's just done it again for this fight. Maybe it wasn't getting enough publicity and he's decided to drum some up. I'm not condoning what he's saying, but in the past, people have said that he goes into like a character, a persona, the Bronze Bomber, who's a brutal guy, and when he's in the ring, you know, anything's possible and all this kind of stuff. And he kind of separates the Deontay Wilder, the man, from Bronze Bomber, the fighter. It all sounds a bit rubbish to me. It all sounds like a bit of a joke, but I don't think it's right. I also don't think he should be stripped of his title for it. There's been a long history of trash talking boxing. It is a fighting sport after all. I don't think Deontay Wilder genuinely intends to injure or kill his opponents. Even Dominic Breazeale, with whom he's had a well-documented history. They had a clash in a hotel lobby previously. I think Breazeale's family were there, and they definitely don't like each other. There's no love lost, but I don't think he genuinely intends to kill Breazeale. I think that's been, over-egged, and I think largely because of Wilder's own comments. But I think there should be some form of punishment. I don't think it should be overly severe because, as I say, there are mitigating factors, and there is a long history of trash talk in boxing, so I don't think we should get too het up about it. And also, I think that's just giving him what he wants. I think he wanted more publicity for the fight, and this has helped get it. It's not the best way to go about it, and I'm not sure he should be rewarded and then encouraged to do the same in future. Back to the fight itself, though, I think Wilder probably gets the stoppage in the mid to late rounds. I think Breazeale will give him a few problems, but I think Wilder is the more powerful man. He does have that one-shot finishing power, and I think that will be the difference. On this side of the Atlantic, we've got 2 shows going on, which is one of the reasons why this has been late. We've been kind of here, there and everywhere. Stevenage, Frank Warren, Lamex Football Stadium, Stevenage FC Stadium. Billy Joe Saunders attempts to become a 2-weight world champion against the limited, I think it's fair to say, Shifat Isufi. As long as Saunders adapts well to the new weight and he looks in fantastic shape, he should have far too much for Isufi. The biggest question, I guess, is whether Saunders, not a known puncher, gets the stoppage or not. He may just outclass him and unload with enough kind of barrages and fast flurries to get a referee kind of mercy stoppage, or maybe even Isufi getting retired by his corner if Saunders is dominant. Quick mention to Ashley Lane and Brad Foster putting up the British and Commonwealth super bantamweight titles on the undercard. That'll be really good to watch. That's probably the fight of the night on what isn't a great card, let's be honest, but it is a big event. It is at a stadium, albeit not the biggest stadium in the world. It should have a passionate crowd, and the Foster Ashley Lane fight will be worth tuning into. On the flip side, what is probably the biggest and best British fight card of the year so far takes place in Glasgow at the SSE Hydro. Local hero, although he's from Edinburgh, it's close enough. Local hero Josh Taylor goes for his first world title against IBF super lightweight champion Ivan Baranchyk in a fight which doubles as the WBSS World Boxing Super Series semi-final. The winner of that will go on to face new WBA champion Regis Prograis in the final. It's a mouth-watering clash, but not even more so is the winner against Prograis, because Prograis looked great destroying Kirill Relic in his own semi-final. Taylor will obviously have the home fans behind him. Barancyk's a very aggressive fighter, was a good amateur, as was Taylor. Taylor just seems the more versatile though. He's certainly the more rangy. I think he's got the edge in speed. Baranchyk may be a little bit more powerful. We'll see that on the night. But I think Taylor's very physically strong. He's a huge super lightweight. Baranchyk working with legendary trainer Freddie Roach for the first time for this fight. But how much Roach will be able to kind of finesse him and add nuances to his game in the short time they've had together is open to question. I would back Taylor to win, although he may have to go the distance to do so. But he may bust Baranchyk up, get some sort of cut stoppage late on perhaps. In the other big fight in Glasgow, bantamweight semi-final to decide the guy to go on and face Nonito Donaire in the surprise finalist in the bantamweight final of the World Boxing Super Series. Sees Naoya Inoue in only his second fight outside Japan, first fight of course in the UK, take on the Emanuel Rodriguez from Puerto Rico, who is I believe the IBF bantamweight champion. That's why I was hesitating now. I couldn't remember which belt he holds. Inoue, of course, has the WBA regular belt, which he took from Jamie McDonnell. So they clash in Glasgow, which a lot of people... We went to the press conference on Wednesday, and the Japanese press outnumbered the UK press at least 2-1. And they were really, really passionate. Inoue had a massive queue of people waiting to interview him after the press conference. It was ridiculous. It was like a little bit of Tokyo had come over to Glasgow, and it was a welcome addition as well. You know, it's exciting stuff. He's obviously a superstar back home. He's brought some of that with him. Incredibly powerful Inoue, very well balanced, technically skilled. Hasn't been dragged into a war yet really in the later rounds and really kind of asked to dig deep. Not sure if Rodriguez is the man to do it or not. He packs a bit of a dig himself. He's a good mover. He's quite aggressive, but he's also technically skilled, a good amateur. I think he can give Inoue some problems, but I'm not sure he can drag him into the sort of dogfight that could prove Inoue's undoing. He's not a three-weight world champion by accident, if you include the WBA regular belt in that, of course. And I expect him to get the job done, probably in the late rounds, in this case, if not going the distance. But it's a great show. I urge you all to tune in and watch it on Sky Sports. What I would also, and obviously if you get a chance to switch over, and especially for the Ashley Lane and Brad Foster fight, as mentioned in Stevenage, that's on BT Sport. And I think Sky are carrying the Wilder fight as well in the early hours for the UK. And PBC, obviously, on Fox, I believe. But, on Showtime, sorry, over in the US. What I'd like to hear from you is, what do you think is the fight of the weekend? And are there any upsets? You know, do you think Breazeale might be able to take out Wilder? Do you think I've got one of the WBSS semi-finals wrong? Really like to hear what you think and what you think is the best show and the best fight of the weekend. Let us know in the comments below and we'll respond to some of the best ones. Again, sorry it's late this week, but it's, if anything, testament to the breadth of our coverage recently. We'll try not to let you down with tardiness again. Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Take care.